Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. Today's topic is managing money in recovery. How do you take care of your funds? Maybe your addiction got you so far in the hole and now you need to work yourself out and better yourself financially. So today we're going to talk about how to manage money in recovery. And these are tips that I'm going to give to you. First and foremost, I want to say, give a shout out to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. You can find him at 516-485-2741. You can also find him on www.odysseyconsultant.org. That's www.odysseyconsultant.org. Larry Geis is an addiction recovery coach, as am I. He is a life coach. The difference between him and I is about 28 years of experience. He has over 30 years experience. If you need help from your addiction to your recovery, he will walk with you hand in hand. He will advise you on how to live today, 24 hours at a time, into the future. He will never ever talk about your past. He's not a counselor or a therapist. What he is an addiction recovery coach. He wants to make sure that today is a brand new day for you and tomorrow is a great future ahead for you. So reach out to Larry Geis at Geis Academy at 516-485-2741. Go to www.odysseyconsultant.org. That's Larry Geis. And tell Larry that you heard about him on the Take Back Life show. Give a shout out to Global Eyeglasses, where they are focused on saving money. Folks, announcement starting next week. You can try your frames on at home. That's right, you can try them at home. You can try them. You just pay 50% of the value of the frame, have them shipped to your home, show them to your friends, your loved ones, even look in the mirror with them, and you will have a return label now. Returning the shipment, the frames, the shipment is not covered by Global Eyeglasses, but they will give you a return label. Once you ship the frames you don't want back to Global Eyeglasses, they will give you 100% refund. Again, the shipment to send them back is not included. You will also get a reminder email to send those frames back. A reminder will be sent to a customer to place the order for the frames. Try to get them back. So folks, this is a brand new concept. It is kind of like, it reminds me of Netflix or Blockbuster, where you get to bring some product home. You get to try it. You get to show it to your family. And you get to send it back for 100% refund for the ones you don't want. Go to globaleyeglasses.com, folks. I've been in the optometry field for 30 years. This is revolutionary, this new method, because it is so hard to buy glasses online. So now you get to try them at home. And this is why over 100 of you folks in my audience have called me, because I have suggested frames. I have helped you with your lenses. Global Eyeglasses has progressives, they have transitions, they have photochromatics, polarization, high index, they have anti-reflecting coating, UV coating, scratch coating. This is all available at globaleyeglasses.com. So please, just go there and start saving money. Go to my websites, www.takeyourlifebacktoday show and www.clearviews.info and www.clearreform.com. These are all my websites. They're all available for you to utilize. Let's break it down. www.clearviews.info is about information on addiction and recovery. www.takeyourlifebacktoday show is about this show. You'll get to see tons of videos that have the most recent videos that I have produced and aired. And then, of course, for my addiction recovery coaching, you can go to www.clearreform.com. Now, managing money in recovery. Tips to help you out. Being in recovery is an awesome feeling, is an awesome task, and it can be extremely stressful. Once we leave treatment, we focus on the people, places, and things to avoid in order to maintain sobriety, places and things to avoid to maintain our sobriety and guard against evils of relapse. If you are new in recovery, there are areas in our recovery that may not get much play, but are crucial to keeping us safe, sane, and sober. One such area that addicts tend to avoid early in recovery is learning how to manage their money. They might have gotten themselves so deeply in debt that when they first go into recovery, all they think about is recovery, but managing your money is very important. Money, is it a trigger for relapse? What do you think? If you really think about it, what is one of the first things that addicts do early in recovery? For many addicts, an important goal early in the game is finding a job and earning a steady paycheck again. Making bank helps in building self-esteem and confidence, and helps those new in recovery, and they can use their income to pay back the debt that built up during their addiction. But, as it is often said, mo money, mo problems. Let's face it, we as addicts are terrible when it comes to money management. And you can get better, because I have. Many recovering addicts may have little or no concept of how to save their money. Once we get some scratch in our hand or in our pockets, we used it at the corner liquor shop, or to go to the corner to meet a guy who was selling pot or cocaine. What we didn't earn, we bartered or stole and ended up broke, out of work, out of the house, and up to our necks in debt. Whether we weren't taught the concepts of budgeting and saving, or we just lost those skills in the haze of our addiction, learning to manage our money is an important life skill that can't be ignored. In many ways, money can be seen as a trigger for relapse. If we aren't taught the basic life skills in this, the thought patterns that rules our lives as addicts manifest themselves in new ways, and we can develop new addictions such as gambling, shopping, and the cycle of self-abuse starts all over again. Ways to manage your money, back to the basics. As with any skill, we need to be able to embrace the basics first, and that holds true for the newbie recovering person that is learning money management. Your mantra needs to be that of Bob Wiley and What About Bob? Baby steps, small steps. The following are solid ways you can manage your money effectively in recovery. Inventory. It isn't just your emotions and your feelings. Before you can look to save and budget, you need to take an honest look at your assets, your debts, your expenses. This progress can be an eye-opening and can be a weighty blow to your ego. But you need to take an honest inventory of where you are at, and before you can chart the course for your future, you need to make sure that you write these things down. There can be a ton of negative feelings associated with this process. Don't let it become a trigger or a relapse. So having the help of a trusted family member or a friend can help you focus on the present and what you can do to improve your situation instead of dwelling on what happened in the past. Let's not worry. Let's worry about today and tomorrow. Learn the concept of budgeting and saving. For many people, and addicts included, budgeting and saving can be seen in the same light as dieting. It elicits groans and complaining, and if you are barely breaking even as it is for you, you may wonder why you need to do these things in the first place. No matter where you are on the economic food chain, budgeting and saving are important skills that in fact you have to have the ability to take care of your obligation, and gives you the ideas of how you can move forward in a realistic, reasonable fashion. If you don't have a grasp of these concepts, or maybe feel embarrassed about your lack of financial moxie, there is help available. If you have a good relationship with a personal banker, they can take the time to help you learn the basics and provide you guidance every step of the way. If you have a nonprofit credit counseling agency in your own neighborhood, hit them up. They are also an excellent resource teaching you how to budget and save your money. If you can, avoid getting an ATM card. ATM cards are convenient and a way to get cash you need quickly. It can also lead to impulsive spending habits that you want to avoid. If possible, avoid having an ATM card and set up an account that requires you to be physically present at the bank to withdraw these funds. That extra set may prevent you from thinking about using those funds to buy drugs or to make unwise purchases and other poor money decisions. Understanding needs versus wants. Needs versus wants. The difference between a want and a need can be subtle. On On one hand, your sobriety is not served by ignoring genuine needs for self-care. But on the other hand, it is not served by fulfilling your every desire and effort to numb emotions. No matter how much debt you may have, your sobriety and you come first. If you need help, get help. There is no shame in getting help. There are those instances where people just aren't good at managing money, and there are many, thousands out there. If you fall within that group, you may want to turn your money over to a trusted person in your life, such as your spouse, your parent, family member, or another trusted person. Under no circumstances should you turn your money over to someone who is using drugs. That is a red flag. Money management is a life skill that all those new in recovery must learn and master. There are times we want to crawl under a rock knowing the financial messes we have gotten ourselves into, but like our recovery in general, the only way we get better is to face our problems and fears and learn to overcome them. People in recovery need to be taught not only how to cope with money problems, but how to avoid them in the first place and to fix them when necessary. Folks, managing money in recovery, these were tips, and I'm going to recap on them quickly. Being in recovery is an awesome feeling for you, for me, and if you're not in recovery yet, you can taste the awesome feeling by making that decision to finally break the wall of denial, let it crumble down in front of you, and start saying you know you have a problem. And it can be extremely stressful. Once we leave treatment, we focus on people, places, and things to avoid in order to maintain our sobriety and guard against evils of relapse. If you are new in recovery, there are areas in our recovery that may not get much attention, but they are crucially or as crucial as important as sobriety itself. One such area that addicts tend to avoid early in recovery is learning how to manage their money. Is it a trigger or a relapse? Money can be a relapse. If you really think about it, what is one of the first things that addicts do early in recovery? For many addicts, an important goal early in the game is finding a job and earning a paycheck again. Making bank helps in building self-esteem and confidence and helps those in recovery, and they can use their income to pay back the debts that built up during their addiction. But as it is often said, mo money, mo problems. Let's face it, we as addicts are terrible when it comes to money management. Many recovering addicts may have little or no concept of how to save their money. Once we get some scratch in our hand or in our pockets, we run to the nearest liquor store at the corner, or at that same corner, see Johnny who is selling marijuana or cocaine. But as it is often, but we didn't earn, what we didn't earn, we bartered or stole and ended up broke, out of work, out of house, and out of a job. And now you might be neck deep in debt. Whether we weren't taught the concepts of budgeting and saving, or if we lost those skills in the haze of our addiction, learning to manage our money, it is an important life skill that can't be ignored. If we weren't taught the basic life skills, the thought patterns that rules our lives as addicts manifest themselves in new ways, and we can develop new addictions such as gambling, shopping, and the cycle of self-abuse starts all over again like a big circle. Ways to manage your money, the basics. As with any skill, we need to be able to embrace the basics first, and that holds true to the newbie recovering person that is learning money management. Inventory. Take a self-inventory. It's not just your emotions and your feelings. Before you can look and save and budget, you need to take an honest look at your assets, your debts, and expenses. And this might be embarrassing, but don't let it trigger you or cause a relapse. This process can be an eye-opening and can be a weighty blow to your ego. Let your ego go. But you need to take an honest inventory of where you are now and where you project you from going tomorrow before you can reach the goal. There can be a ton of negative feelings associated with this process, so having the help of a trusted family member, a friend, or possibly a consultant is suggested. Learn the concept of budgeting and saving. For many people, and addicts included, budgeting and saving can be seen as the same as dieting. It elicits groans and complaining, and if you're barely breaking even, as it is, you may wonder why you need to do these things in the first place. No matter where you are on the economic food chain, budgeting and saving are important skills in the fact that you have the ability to take care of your obligations, and it gives you ideas on how you can move forward in a realistic fashion. If you don't have a grasp with these concepts, or you may feel embarrassed about your lack of financial moxie, there is help available. If you have a good relationship with a personal banker, they can take the time to help you learn the basics and provide you guidance in every little step of the way. If you have a non-profit credit counseling agency within your neighborhood, hit them up. They are also an excellent resource in teaching you how to budget and save. If you can, avoid getting an ATM. ATM cards are convenient and a way to get cash when you need it quickly. It can also lead to impulsive spending habits that you can or you need to avoid. If possible, avoid having an ATM card and set up an account that requires you to physically go to the bank to withdraw these funds. That extra step may prevent you from thinking about using those funds to buy drugs, to make unwise purchases, and other poor decisions. Understanding the difference between needs and wants. The difference between a want and a need can be subtle. On one hand, your sobriety is not served by ignoring genuine needs for self-care, but on the other hand, it is not served by fulfilling your every desire in an effort to numb emotions. No matter how much debt you may have, your sobriety and you come first. If you need help, you need to get help. There are those instances where people just aren't good at managing money. There are many out there. If you fall within that group, you may want to turn your money over to a trusted person in your life, such as your spouse, your parent, family member, or another trusted person. Under no circumstances should you turn your money over to someone who utilizes drugs. Money management is a life skill that all those new in recovery must learn and master. There are times we want to crawl under a rock knowing financial messes we've gotten ourselves into, but like our recovery in general, the only way to get better is to face our problems and fears and learn how to overcome them. People in recovery need to be taught not only how to cope with money problems, but how to avoid them in the first place and fix them when necessary. Folks, you can certainly crawl from whatever financial situation you might have gotten yourself in. You can definitely crawl out of it. What needs to be done are the basics. Start from fresh. Take that self-inventory. Make two charts, one of your assets and one of your debt. And of course, if you have financial problems, that debt column is going to be overwhelmingly higher than your column with assets. I will tell you from experience that a few years ago, financially, I wasn't bankrupt by all means, but I was not doing well. Sobriety has taught me to watch every penny, of course not to a point where I'm cheap, but to watch penny and how to improve my credit rating, which has improved tremendously. And a lot of it has to do with this because I'm not utilizing funds for alcohol. I'm utilizing funds to pay my bills. Bills are very important to pay. Your financial management is very important to stay on top of. So please, folks, you need to find a way to learn how to do it, whether it's learning yourself. You can go to the library and get books on it. Whether it's turning to a friend or a loved one, or turning to your local banker, or possibly even a credit union. But available help is out there. You need to locate it and you need to find it. If you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to me at 844-405-HELP or 631-599-0218. I will try to help you find someone within your area to work on your finances. Nobody is saying that becoming sober and working on your finances, you're going to find unfound money, because it's not. What I am saying is how to manage whatever you have, whether you work at McDonald's making $280 take home, or you're working as a doctor making $5,000 a week take home. How you manage that money is how you will succeed in life and how you will build your financial portfolio. So it is important whether you're at the bottom of the food chain of the economic money wages or the higher end. It doesn't matter, because if you don't know how to manage that money, you can make $5,000 a week and blow it quicker than a guy making $280 a week. Folks, you have to remember that a sober today, I promise you, will give you a better tomorrow. And if you start thinking positive, not only about your personal life, but also about your spiritual life and your financial life, you will see positive results. And I'm not talking about changes happening quick, because all changes happen in very small steps. You need to take the baby steps to get there, but you need to have the positive thinking to get there, and you need to have the patience to get there. There is no shame in reaching out to anyone, including myself, or to Larry Geis, if you have an issue in reference to recovery. If you need recommendations, you can reach Larry at 516-485-2741. You can reach me at 844-405-HELP. Reach out to either one. Reach out to your local bankers. Reach out to your credit unions. Reach out to a family member. But you need to reach out. Folks, I hope to God that each one in my audience has a terrific, beautiful day. But more importantly, I hope and pray you have a sober day. And may God bless you.